All right, guys. Today I want to riff a little bit on masculinity because I saw an ad for unisex perfume. Unisex perfume. When I was a kid, we had men like Tom Selleck and Burt Reynolds. These were guys with chest hair and mustaches, and they were manly men who drove cars fast and got in fist fights and drank a lot of beer and had sex with a lot of women. And we celebrated men like this. We celebrated their masculinity. And today there's a certain segment of the population that is trying to wipe out all things masculine. I mean, do you think Burt Reynolds would wear unisex perfume? I know there's a lot of things, we're not perfect. I know there's a lot of things about masculinity that aren't healthy for society. We're aggressive. Not we. Some men are aggressive, some men are violent. But most men are good people, and there's a lot of masculine traits that are healthy and necessary for survival. And women sometimes get bothered by how horny men are. Yes, we have very high sex drives. But instead of being irritated, think about the fact that at some point in our history during the Paleolithic period, all of humanity was down to about 70,000 people. Were it not for man's incredible sex drive, none of us would be here. You'd all be extinct. So the next time your man is being sexual and you're not in the mood and you're irritated, instead of getting pissed at him, do him a solid and go buy him a blowy from a pro. He will get his biological need to spread his seed satiated, and you get out of doing something you don't want to do. It's win-win. You hear some stuff from third wave feminists. Yeah, a new term I've been hearing a lot in the last year that I've never heard before: toxic masculinity. Toxic masculinity. Can you imagine if we had a term like toxic femininity? Tongue twister. Toxic masculinity. It makes it sound like all men should be walking around with green Mr. Yuck stickers on their forehead. We're toxic. It's ridiculous. And then you hear things like mansplaining and manspreading. What are these terms? Yes, sometimes I, a man, explain things to my wife, a woman, because I understand them better than her. But you know what? She doesn't get pissed off and throw a tirade on Twitter and then put a vagina hat on and get all her girlfriends and go marching in the streets, because she's a grown-up. She appreciates when I explain things to her. Likewise, sometimes she explains things to me and I don't wear a giant penis on my head and go marching and protesting all women. I appreciate that. And manspreading. I mean, yes, when I sit on the subway, my legs are probably further apart than the woman to my left and to my right. This is not because I hate women or because I'm an asshole. I love women. They're beautiful. They smell nice. They're empathetic. They're fun to be around. I love women. I sit like that because I have testicles. And if I sit like you want me to sit and I cross my legs, I'm going to squash my testicles. I'm going to kill all my sperm. And my wife will never get that third baby she wants. She'll become sad and depressed. And she probably won't be as good a mother as she is now to our two sons. They'll get sad and depressed and feel rejected in their attempt to fill that void with other things in their life. So they'll probably join a gang. And the next thing you know, they're hanging out behind dumpsters at Burger King, sucking off old men for money to support their drug habit. And that'll be on you because you wanted me to sit with my legs crossed on the subway. I mean, we're not perfect. Men are not perfect. Women are not perfect. There's asshole women out there. There's asshole men out there, but most of us are good. And we need to just appreciate one another and love one another and celebrate our differences. There's this idea out there now that we're equal. All people are equal. Men and women are equal. And that's just not true. I mean, there's some shit that men are better at. For example, my wife and I can play my wife in literally any sport and I will dominate her. If you put us, let's say, in a caged death match and you tie my arms behind my back, I'm going to win. In fact, you could tie my arms and my legs behind my back and I'll work up a raging hard-on and beat her to death with that. She is not as strong as me. She's never going to be as strong as me. Likewise, women are better at many things than men. For example, my wife, we both love our children equally. We both love our children. They're the number one priority in our life. But when she goes away to work, every time I'm about a cunt hair away from complete catastrophe. She can nurture those children in a way that I never can. One of these times she's going to come back from the hospital after a work shift and she's going to find all three of us dead from a pizza overdose. because pizza is literally the only thing we eat when she's gone. I can't nurture them the way she can, and it's fine, man. We don't need to be equal. We're partners. My strengths complement her weaknesses. Her strengths complement my weakness. We're partners. We're best friends, and we're not competing with one another. We're a unit. We don't need to be equal. So I mean, I want society to stop attacking masculine traits. There's a lot of good that comes in this world from being masculine. We're very competitive. We've fueled invention and societal progress with our competitive drive and our desire to be the alpha male, to impress the female so that they will feel secure in being around us and letting us father their children. There's plenty of masculine traits that are positive for society. You hear a lot of talk about inclusiveness and acceptance. Yes, let's be inclusive. Let's accept. Let's love one another. Let's love women. Love the gays. Love people with gender identity issues. Love everyone. But let's include men in there. Love us too. Okay, so I'm just sharing my thoughts. Like I said, I'm gonna do these from time to time. I'm not writing them. I'm not editing them. I'm not gonna do any retakes. I'm just putting my thoughts out there for better or for worse. That's it. Love one another and don't be pussies.